Shazam Fury of the Gods. The sequel to 2019 DC movie Shazam is out, and here is my quick review for the movie and get to know why critics are not liking this one. After the events of the last movie, all the foster siblings of Billy Batson now have superpowers. But as they are growing older, they are slowly separating from each other, while Billy is still trying to keep them together. Meanwhile, the three vengeful daughters of Atlas arrive on Earth for the magic of their father that was stolen from them long time ago. Now Billy and his family must unite and fight them for their powers, and especially for the fate of the world. Zachary Levi is, in my opinion, perfect as an adult behaving like a teenager who has superpowers. He very effectively portrayed the comic as well as the emotional parts. Asher Angel in the role of Billy Batson had shorter screen time compared to part 1, but he was too good in his role. Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu were actually brilliant in their roles of Hespera and Calypso. Rachel Zegler in the role of, spoiler alert, the third sister Anthea was actually a delight to watch on screen. Jimon Honzao as the wizard Shazam was dependable as always, and Jack Dylan Grazer in the role of Freddy was a standout among such powerhouse performers. Rest of the cast was fine. The plot of this movie follows the basic superhero template, with nothing groundbreaking or out of the box. But the characters, especially Hespera and Calypso, are written quite well, as their motivations are quite clear. Same cannot be said for Anthea, as her arc looked confused most of the time. The dynamic of this Shazam family was also good, but their individual arcs, other than Freddy and Mary, were mostly ignored. There are two climax for this movie. While the first one was quite emotional and effective, the second one seemed forced and undoing what the first climax did quite effectively. The mid-credit scene is fun and important for the future of the DC universe, while the post-credit scene was just a stretch. David F. Sandberg is mostly known for his horror flicks, and in the first part also there were some horror elements, but this one is a pure superhero spectacle. His direction looked confident in most of the parts of the movie. The movie was made on a budget of around $100 million, quite low for a superhero movie of today's times. Still, the VFX work of the film looks gorgeous, especially the dragon shots, even though in some scenes VFX looked obvious. Screenplay of the movie was also lenient, production design and cinematography were good. Personally, I had a good time watching this movie. While the film was not at all groundbreaking in the superhero genre, it was still fun. There were no moments where you felt bored. I really liked the first one and it had the same feel and tone as its predecessor. And I still think that the first one was better than this one. Still, you will get what you expect from a movie: entertainment. Critics in general are not liking this movie, going by the 54% Rotten Tomato score, which, in my opinion, should have lied somewhere between 65 to 70%. Critics mostly did not like the screenplay as they thought it was outdated. Personally, I think they are getting too harsh on this movie as it offers quite a fun time. In terms of the box office, this movie is projected to open between 35 and $40 million in its home territory, which, going by the current superhero trend, is very low. This is accounted for by several different factors. First, the marketing of the movie should have focused more on the sides of a bunch of teenagers getting superpowers. They also ruined one of the most high profile cameos of the movie in desperation of increasing their box office potential, which did not seem to have worked as of now. And most importantly, after the announcement of James Gunn starting a new DCU universe and upcoming The Flash rebooting the DCEU, this movie seems to have not much relevance. This also led to several people not having any interest in this movie. Overall, if you are in a mood for a fun 2 hours, you can go and watch Shazam in theaters this weekend. And even if you skipped it, there's no loss whatsoever.